Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the very first episode 1, season 1 of Bar Talks. I'm so excited to be here today. This means a lot to me to get this show up and running. If you know me, you know I'm passionate about all things media. So we're going to jump right into it. Today we have a very special guest, the teacher Chelsea. Yay. And she came to kick it with your girl today and just chop it up about some of the things that she has going on.
Yes.
So before we get into that, it wouldn't be a Bar Talks episode without a good cocktail. So I'm going to teach Chelsea how to make a fresh blueberry lemon drop today, okay? So we got a couple of our ingredients over here to the side. Chelsea's going to enjoy a mocktail, so we're going to use lemonade for her filler. I'm going to use Sunnail. Okay, so you can pour the lemonade to your liking.
Okay.
In the glass. Cup. Yep. There you go. And then what I want you to do is put a couple blueberries in there. So that's good.
Yes. I was going to say heavy on the
blueberries. Yes, heavy on the blueberries. And then you're going to muddle. So.
Is there a technique to this?
Not really.
Okay.
So just go for what you know. Just mush.
Okay.
So.
A little aggression.
Yep.
Out.
Put some up in that thing. There you go. Yeah. So, I chose a lemon drop for the first cocktail for the first episode because I feel like the lemon drop's really been having the girlies in a chokehold of chokeholds. Listen, this been having us wrapped around his finger for a good 3 years at this point. I don't even know if girls know another cocktail.
I don't think so.
I don't think anything else comes to our brain besides lemon drop.
And it's just like lemon drops with accessories.
Yeah, like so how we gonna do it?
Strawberry.
Yeah. So I feel like strawberry was like the summer vibe. So I wanted to kind of switch it up and give it like a nice little dark feel, but still remain like fresh. I love a fresh cocktail, like fresh fruits, fresh herbs, instead of like all that liqueur and stuff, you know?
Yeah. Agreed. I love when I can actually taste like the fruit and
yes. So now
herb.
That should be good. Give it a little color. And I'm gonna muddle mines. So I'm gonna pour you 0.5 simple syrup for your mocktail. You can go ahead and pour that in there. And I'm gonna muddle mine so we can shake at the same time.
Yay!
So I've been bartending for a long time. It has helped me through college. I've traveled. You know, when I first had my daughter, I was like, man, I need a little bit more money than like serving, you know? So I need to do a little more. So I went to bartending school and I got a license in mixology. And it's been like a history ever since. I'm a professional, so, you know, we not going to do the, you know, we going up. I work today.
Why not?
I work today, you know, so why the hell not, right? I like to throw a couple lemons in mine, give it that real refreshing. So when we shake, you know, you really taste that lemon in there. Mm-hmm. So I gave you a strainer because, as you can see, your blueberries got a lot of things going on. It's got a lot of gunk and stuff.
Okay.
So when you strain it, we're going to double strain it so that you don't have to taste all of that stuff when you're drinking your drink. You just enjoy the drink for what it is. And, you know, keep it pushing.
Okay.
Put a little ice in there. Do your big one. Okay. Period. I'm going to actually put a little lemonade in mine, too.
So after we shake, then I'm going to pour it through the strainer.
Yep.
Okay.
We shake first. Ready? Make it good, girl. Make it like you take that. Hey, there you go. Okay. Now we're going to release.
Oh,
okay. There you go. And we're going to double strain.
Yum.
Period.
I needed more, a little more lemonade.
Hold on. Let me hold it because that top might come off. So what you want to do is
like this.
Yep. There you go. Boom. And we gonna fill yours back up with some more lemonade. So this really takes a while for it to strain, but it really eliminates that pulp in your drink, you know? So I just really, when I'm using fresh fruits, I just really like to strain. Let's just go ahead and fill it a little bit. Add some ice.
It's so cute.
Period. Okay. It is. Yay. Would you like some ice?
Yeah, I'll take some ice. So now I just...
Yep. And then what you can do is... I like to kind of knock it a little bit. Come on up out that thing. Come on up out that thing.
Yes.
Come on up out of there. Period. And it leaves all of that gunk and stuff. I don't know if y'all can see, but...
Yeah.
So when you're making cocktails at home with fresh fruit, I always like to have a double strainer because it really eliminates that extra pulp and everything that's coming out of that fruit. It just extracts that fresh juice and it leaves all of that other mess in the strainer. So you're able to enjoy your cocktail without like feeling like you're eating and drinking at the same time. Because that's weird for me. That's weird for me. And I don't like that. Cheers.
Okay.
Okay.
It's so fresh.
Yeah. See, my grandma would say, now we cooking with grease.
With hot grease.
Now we cooking with grease up in this thing. So.
I like that.
I have been following you for quite some time. Fun fact, me and Chelsea actually met at the gym.
Yes.
At LA in Royal Oak. And she was really going hard in the paint, y'all. Like to the point where I had to like say something to her. I was like, girl, you is doing it. I want to do it how you do it because you know what to do. And it looked like you do because you moving around. I want to be your friend. Can we be friends? She was like, absolutely. So that's how this connection started. But then as I learned a little bit more about you, I realized that you are a yoga facilitator. You are a wellness coach. You are a lifestyle coach. So you have all of these other things that you have going on. So I did stalk you a little bit and I read your article by Voyage Magazine.
Yes.
And I kind of read how you got into it and how you kind of fell into it. But for those who don't know Chelsea and who don't know her origin story, can you kind of tell us what drew you to yoga and wellness? And was that always something that you intended on doing with your life? Like if you can go back and talk to kindergarten Chelsea. Is that something that was cohesive with your life goals, or was that something that just naturally gravitated to you?
You want to know what's funny? Thank you first. I just feel like you are just so sweet. To answer your question, simple answer, no. It's not what I thought I would be doing.
Okay.
But when I really sit back and think about like my life path and just the type of things that I would say and like the manifestations and seeds I was planted as like a youngin'. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I was always kind of regarded as like a healer, kind of like intuitive when I was young, very empathetic. I've always had a very big heart. I've always been very big on like physical movement. I did 1,000,001 sports. I was always very in tune with like my body. But I always wanted to be a brain surgeon, specifically. Like, how specific is that, right?
Wow.
Yes, I had this obsession with like Ben Carson. Like, I really thought I was going to be a brain surgeon.
Wow.
Went to college like with that intention, and
big smart.
I think it's hilarious that technically speaking, like I still work with the mind. It may not be in like the format of, Western medicine. I don't have an MD at the end of my name, but I'm still helping people heal themselves.
Yeah, and work through their thoughts.
Exactly. And it's not so heavily reliant on me. Like I always like to tell people, like, I'm not your healer. I'm just here to facilitate spaces for you to heal yourself.
Period.
And so
you better talk to them
like
while they listening.
I feel like I'm on track. Like I feel like I'm very much on track. It's so different from what I thought I would be doing, but I enjoy it. It's like a privilege, honestly.
Wow.
Yes.
So with you, now I have a question because I'm very empathetic too. So with you being an empath and being empathetic in the way that you are, is it sometimes hard for you to watch your clients struggle or go through their own struggles? And also, is it harder when it's a time in your life where you might be going through a struggle?
100%.
Okay.
So, I am very, very, very intentional about everything that I do. And extremely passionate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Leo. I don't know if that has anything to do with like my passion, but like I don't have a middle ground. I'm either like all in or I'm all out. I'm like going 200% or I'm not going at all. Mm-hmm. And so with my clients and students and just people who I've connected with over the years, I am extremely passionate about the things that they're passionate about. Mm-hmm. So if someone comes to me and tells me like my intention for learning how to meditate or, you know, practice yoga is to work through my anxiety.
Okay.
I'm going to always remember that, and I'm going to see that in everything that you do. And so when I see them struggling with certain things, like I get a little overzealous or like constantly trying to figure out like, how can I help you get to where you know, where I know you want to be.
Like, what is it? What can I do?
But life be lifing on my end too.
Okay.
And sometimes I forget, like, although I am a vessel, at the end of the day, I'm still on my own journey too.
Yes,
and that's where I'm kind of like in a little balance of that now. Last year, you follow me, so you may have seen last year I had like some very big encounters with grief. I lost my best friend who was 25 at the time, and I lost my godbaby who was 10 months at the time. And I lost my grandmother like 2 weeks after that. So like back to back grief. Yes. And that was the first thing that I felt like I feel like I'm like backsliding a little bit into a
like
space.
I can't help y'all because I can't
like
help myself.
I really don't have the space to do this at this time.
Yeah.
And that also felt overwhelming because what I do doesn't feel like a chore. Like I get excited about it. It fuels me. So to not be able to do something that brings you so much joy is just
in
like,
a moment where you need a little piece of joy in your life.
It felt like a prison.
Yeah. You're trapped in your own feelings, in your own thoughts.
Literally. I quickly started to like still try to like hold space for other people through that. But the biggest breakthrough is when I just started to verbalize to people that I was not necessarily all put together and I was still working through stuff.
Okay.
And the acceptance of my students.
It was like, girl, don't even worry about it.
Yeah, you cool.
I'm messed up too.
We can cry together.
Okay, I'm going through a lot, but I need you more.
Yes.
So I'm going to let you do your thing.
Literally.
But also help you do your thing for me.
Exactly. Yeah. So once I got over that piece, like the ego and the pride of not having it all together, I was good. And so that's literally the space I'm in like presently, because that was just last year. But you know, I'm good. People rock with me for who I am. So
yes, they do.
If I'm in a challenging season, then that's just what we got right now.
Baby, listen, this is what I got to give, honey.
Still gonna have a great time in this class.
Yes.
But,
and I think it's interesting that you said, like, I just did what I wanted to do and I didn't wait for it to be perfect, or I didn't wait to have everything together, or I didn't put it on hold until my life was absolutely together. Because sometimes I feel like I do that a lot in my life. Like with me having so many different passions and so many different things that I want to give my time and attention to, sometimes I feel like it's not right. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect, you know. Like today, I forgot my iPad. You know, I didn't do my makeup. I had to work. You know, I needed the money, so I couldn't call off. And it's just like all of these little things was creeping up into my mind all day that was trying to convince me that I wasn't ready, you know. But when God calls you to do something, you just do it.
Yep. And
you don't worry about what you're lacking, what you look like, how many followers you have on Instagram, what it's going to end up being, because it's beauty in the struggle. And it's so much beauty and growth too, you know? So to see where you have started and where you are now is life-changing, especially with you going through so many different transitions in your life and losing really big people. For you to still be able to show up and be intentional in the spaces that you're intentional in is amazing. And you've really left your mark. I've been stalking you, my girl, okay? And she's done lots of big classes. You did the Yoga in the D this past summer in downtown Detroit. You're doing flexology classes. If I'm not mistaken, you're on your third one.
This will be, I'm going into my 5th cohort.
You're going into your 5th cohort of flexology class.
Yep.
So, a little about Chelsea. Not only is she a yoga instructor, but she facilitates yoga classes, both personal and public, groups, couples, anything you could think of. She facilitates the class. Please look her up on Instagram, TheTeacherChelsea.
Yes.
And you can find all of her links and all of her classes. But she also teaches a flexology class. So I want to kind of get into that because a bitch ain't limber. You feel me? So and it's crazy because I see your students. You always document the journey.
I have to.
And day one, baby.
Day one be.
Baby, it'd be crucial. It'd be crucial. I be watching like, yeah, that's me. They be having all types of cones propped up. I'm like, that's me, child. I can't bust a split for nothing to save my life. But I think it's so interesting to go on your page and be like, oh, I wonder what Chelsea been up to. And I can click the latest video and they have grown so much. Right? So can you kind of tell me about that? Like, how did you get into this flexology class? Like, how did it come to you? And how did you develop the technique that you have developed to really teach people how to do this and to be way more limber and flexible as they're exiting out of their cohort?
So first, the coach teacher in me is jumping out, and I wanted to touch on something that you said before you asked me that question.
Am I gonna cry my lash off?
Maybe, but just about like talent, being feeling challenged to like still serve and do the work when you don't have it all together. I have been noticing just recently in this last year of my life, God like loves people who are not put together. Like God loves when you're not perfect because what do you learn from something that is like just perfect and just all the way together? Like you really don't get anything from that. Even like some of the people who I love on like social media, we love them because they had like some type of relatable story or something. Like their authenticity is what like makes them stand out the most. Not the people who have it all put together. I literally just like scroll past.
You don't need me.
It doesn't
what
feel...
you need me for?
Exactly.
You didn't got it all figured out. I can't tell you anything that you think you already know.
Exactly. So I say just keep leaning into that. Like don't run away from that because that's gonna create like a resistance. If you lean into it, it won't be as uncomfortable. And I'm kind of preaching to myself
Not the
too.
life coaching me for free, y'all.
I'm kind of like preaching to myself too because I'm noticing like this season is when I've been used the most. My business took off after all of those things that I went through. And it doesn't have anything to do with the whole saying of like, when bad things happen in threes, like, because I don't feel like grief is a bad thing. It's a natural part of life. But just the not having it together part is the
and
part
still
that...
pushing through that. Like, I'm just navigating my ambiguity. Like, I don't really know what's going on.
But I'm
going
here.
On. Okay.
Right.
I'm going to keep showing up.
Literally.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Literally. But with flexology, it's very similar to that. So I think for one, flexology, it is a training course that I created, a 6-week training course. I cultivated it into like cohort style to pretty much require you to be committed. Because if it was just kind of like drop in, realistically, like you might come to 2 or 3, but if you know ahead of time the commitment is 6 weeks, you complete your 6 weeks and then you get your certification, like you've already at least committed yourself to 6 weeks of just showing up. And you
cleared your schedule on this day at this time for 6 weeks.
To something. And 2, you start to connect with the people who are training with you also. That's been my favorite part. Like the progress, learning how to do the splits, that's cool. But like seeing people literally make lifelong relationships with people that they probably never would have in a space that I created. It speaks volumes. It speaks volumes because these people are coming to this space and they're putting on their best. Like they're not coming in with like negative energy, like the cattiness. Like it's really good women who are attracted to this course that I'm hosting. Period. But to answer your question, I coached before I taught yoga. Okay. So I was a little league coach. I did cheerleading when I was in elementary, middle, high school. Goodness. And so once I kind of became an adult, I was like, I still love this. So how can I still show up in this space? And I coached a little league team. And coaching taught me all of the things that I feel like have made me a great teacher. Wow. Because you can be good at something, but you have to learn the skill of teaching and you have to allow yourself to be a student first. Absolutely. I taught yoga classes for like 1.5 years before I went and actually got certified to be a yoga instructor. Okay. And so I kind of had to like take myself out of the hustle part of it and the money part of it and say, okay, like, let's really perfect this craft so that we can make sure that people are leaving with more than just, I like Chelsea, I'm gonna support her. You come to my space, you're gonna leave with something, type of knowledge, tangible knowledge that you can take elsewhere. And so my goal is always obviously developing the flexibility and mobility, but most importantly, like I implement so much life coaching in the class.
I know you do. You life coaching me right now.
I can't turn it off.
Episode 1.
I can't turn it off.
I'm being life coached, okay?
I truly believe I'm a vessel, and so I don't turn it off. I don't turn it off. But they see the splits and stuff, and so they get to day 1 and they be ready to just like jump into it.
Let's do it.
And then we go into full blown
I'm ready
therapy.
to do a backflip.
And now and
you're like,
wait a minute.
You're like, but how's your soul?
But inhale.
What's going on here?
And exhale.
Girl, when they get the crumbling like a cookie, I know they do.
But that's so important when it comes to learning skills with our body, because our bodies is literally just big magnets, like energy magnets. And if you haven't released anything, that's why it's so difficult to develop skills. Like a lot of times people don't see results in the gym, not because you're not putting in the work, but because you have a lot of energetic baggage that you haven't set down yet.
Me.
So like I require them to really like do like real soul work first and then continue that throughout the entirety of the course. And it's like it's that part because once you break through those mental barriers, you be in there ready to risk it all.
Okay, I'm gonna do a backflip, split, flip, jump jack.
And then you come back because you see like, wow, okay, I am capable of doing something that I didn't think I could do. Now you're applying just that fact to all aspects of your life. So I've really had, and it blows my mind, I've genuinely had women who tell me like, this flexology changed my life.
Period. As it should.
I have a good friend, she just got married on Sweetest Day. Her and her spouse, or her and her husband, they literally tell me all the time, like, no, you literally, like, flexology, like, has made us grow closer. Just because it's more mental than it is physical. The body does whatever the mind tells it to do.
Period. That's very true. So
is that.
Listen, I'm gonna have you plug all of your things, okay? But I also just wanted to talk to you about touch a little bit on fitness.
Okay.
Mainly because I recently was scrolling through some comments. I'm not gonna say whose comments, where's comments, what's comments, but I discovered that sometimes people have this idealism of what fit people should be or what they should look like, what colored skin. I mean, all of the things, right? Like I really I was in a point in my life where I was super serious about fitness. Granted, I had got proposed to, and that was all of the motivation I need. Baby, I eat, sleep, and breathe the gym. I was eating carrots, baby, celery sticks, pistachio queen.
Let me get proposed to so I can be on
Period.
My celery sticks.
But you look amazing, you know? And so I want to ask you, have you ever been discouraged by someone, whether it was on the internet or in person, with you being a fitness image on the internet or social media? Have you ever been discouraged by someone because you're not like slim or skinny? Because I have been, and it took me back so much, Chelsea, that I just stopped doing it. I stopped posting my videos. Like, I still go to the gym, you know, don't get me wrong. But I started to feel like, okay, maybe like the fitness girlies have to look a certain way, or they have to be a certain way, you know? Yeah. So I kind of want to touch on that. Is that something that you might have ran into or encountered? And if so, how did you combat that? And how do you build up confidence in others who might not have the perfect image, but is working towards a fitness goal?
So, fortunate and unfortunately, I can't say that I've had that experience.
Okay.
I have always been like really confident in my body.
Period.
Publicly.
Okay.
But behind closed doors, I will like pick myself apart. It's never really,
as we all do.
Yeah, it's never really been to the point where it pushes me away from fitness, because I've never not been capable. Like even when I'm at my heaviest, I was always still so capable. Like I was always still flexible or strong. Like Probably mostly like muscle memory from just like athleticism as a young person, but I've never gotten to a point where I was not able to do stuff anymore physically in my body. So that was kind of always like, well, you know, you ain't skinny, but you can, you know what I mean?
Okay,
but you can still.
It ain't nothing you can't do, actually.
Exactly. So that's kind of always been like my saving grace. Mm-hmm. But I can honestly say, I feel like I've had like the most back and forth, like inner dialogue about like body image this past year, and this has been the most consistent I've ever been as far as fitness. And it's weird.
Do you know why? Do you know what the root is?
I think I'm not gonna lie and make something up for the sake of filling the question. Like, I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring out what the root of it is, but I think that it's because my body naturally does prefer to be like a little smaller than what I am. Like, I feel most comfortable in like a smaller version of myself. Okay. And it's kind of like this constant fluctuation of like up, down. Got it. And so that's the part that's like exhausting. Like, okay, let's just get somewhere where we feel comfortable.
Like, I'm up, down, and I want to get off this roller coaster.
Yeah, I want to be off the roller coaster. And what I'm realizing is not the fitness at all. Like, the fitness, I'm not going to say I'm the fittest person in the world, but I have a really good fitness routine.
I get tired looking at your videos.
It's the eating. It's the eating.
It's the eating?
Mm-hmm.
But
the eating.
Are you vegan?
I'm vegetarian. So
it's still the eat.
It's the eating, because I have
bread. Is it the bread?
It's just an unhealthy relationship with food in general. Okay, it's not really so much what I'm eating, and this is the part that tripped people out the most, because I'm going on like year 7, and I have had years within the 7 years. So it's been 7 years since I've had like fish, any meat, completely. However, within those 7 years, sometimes I'll do a whole year vegan, where I'm not doing any dairy products at all. But for sure, like, that part trips people up, because you would just automatically be like, well, you should be like, you know, real skinny.
But so no. Is it bad for you to snack at any time?
That's what it is. I'm an emotional girl. It don't matter, because everything has to be in moderation.
Got you.
I'm such a healthy snacker. If you see the stuff in my house, you'll be like, girl, like, I'll be like,
not you got veggie
seaweed chips. I love nuts. I love.
Ooh, I be tight up in that thing.
Coconut water. Like, I love the healthy
if you don't bring out some hot lays,
no, I do. I still will have a little. Hold on, not lie.
Wait a minute.
But it's the fact that, like, there is still an unhealthy relationship with food. So, for example, like, emotionally eating. Okay. I will emotionally eat, where I'll either go weeks without eating anything, I'll lose my appetite, or I'll binge and just be like snacking and not having no real meals.
No regulation.
So my body doesn't have like a healthy way of just like being able to respond to that. Mm-hmm. When I'm good, like when I'm following a structured routine and actually being intentional about like the portion,
what you're putting everybody,
my body responds exactly how it's supposed to, literally. It's not really this hard, equation. It's just sticking to what you see working. Mm-hmm. It's literally just that. So that's the space that I'm in right now, and being patient with it happening over time. Like, we don't get to these sizes that we're not comfortable with. We don't get to that overnight.
Okay.
At all.
So you're not going to lose it overnight.
You don't lose overnight. So I'm just like reprogramming my mind about that part of it.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So that leads me to a next question. You don't gain it overnight. Mm-hmm. So you don't lose it overnight. Mm-hmm. So if you could just think of one like monumental thing that you would say to someone who wants to be fit and wants to prioritize fitness, but maybe struggling in any shape, form, or fashion, like for myself. So, for example, I'm a mom. I have 2 daughters. Mm-hmm. And I struggle a lot with how I feel about my body, how I feel about myself. I struggle a lot with being consistent in the gym. I struggle a lot with patience, because I'll go to the gym, go. And the second I feel like it's not working, I'll stop going. And it's like, it could be anything, Chelsea. It could be like, I'm having a bad day and I just look at my body and be like, this stupid gym's not working. I'm not going no more. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, what would you say to somebody to get them to power through that? Because I literally changed my gym schedule to see if the time of day is what was making me not want to go. So my daughters go to school, right? I get them out of school. I get them home. I get them situated after I've already worked. And then I try to go to the gym. Mm-hmm. So I learned like over the past year that sometimes that doesn't work for me because I have anxiety. So once I have my kids, if my husband's not home, I'm like, oh, the kids. Like I need to figure out, and then when he is home, and he doesn't mind cooking or anything like that. Like he's such a team player, but to leave them at 5, 6 o'clock in the evening to go to the gym, sometimes I'm tired. I make excuses like, oh, I'm just tired. It's a long day. So to combat that, I've changed my gym hour to 6 a.m.
Same. I'm a 6 a.m. girly now.
And it's been working out for me because I feel like by 5 p.m., I don't got nothing to give nobody.
Free. Yeah.
And I also don't have it. Like, I don't have the calories to burn. Mm-hmm. They gone. I'm tired. Like, I'm tired. I want to go home. I want to relax. I want to have a glass of wine. I want to help my kids with their homework. Like, so I tried to combat that and change my gym hour. Did it make it easier? No. I'm still struggling. And I feel like a lot of moms are. A lot of women are. I know a lot of women who are, like, going to the gym but a little inconsistent, So what would you say? If you could say anything, like I know everything sounds cliche, but if you could just give a little droplet of encouragement, the teacher Chelsea.
Mm-hmm. So I always think of that little audio. It's like, ooh, I love this question. This is really a question I love. Like people ask me this all the time. So for me personally, I have to say movement is medicine, literally and figuratively. You've read in my article, but if the viewers did not
check out Chelsea's article,
yes,
Voyage, Michigan, yes, it's on her page.
Yes, I was diagnosed with bipolar 1 disorder.
Okay,
so when I feel like I have essentially any mental disorder, it's a chemical imbalance in your body, in your brain.
Okay.
Movement is medicine because it is a natural way to create a balance of those hormones, whether it be dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, all that good stuff. It's literally like, have you ever worked out and felt felt better?
Yes.
Like even if your body is, hurting, but like you genuinely feel better.
Yeah.
That's the reward hormone.
Like it's just a different state of mind. You're like super, what's crazy? I'm always super positive when I leave the gym. Mm-hmm. And I think it's the weirdest thing. Like I never really knew or understood why. But I feel like when I leave the gym, baby, the world is my oyster.
That's why.
Like, I feel like I can do anything.
That's why.
Like, I go, and since I've been doing my 6 a.m.s, I'll leave the gym at 7 a.m. because I've been there since, 5:45, 5:50. I go and I try to go in, get my 10 minutes of stretch so I can start my actual workout right at 6 a.m. because it'll throw me off of whatever. That's neither here nor there. But when I leave at 7 a.m., I have to go home. I have to take both my kids to school. But baby, I be feeling on top of the world. I be ready to go home, make lunches, make little scrambled eggs because they don't be up, And so I just was like, wow, if I can just get out the damn bed, please get up.
It's literally so it's the production of those healthy hormones, but also too, I think Black people are the only people who I feel like, and this is a bold statement to say, but
no, say it.
Black people are the only people who look at fitness as a
chore,
an option, not even a chore, but as an option. You have to work out, and that does not mean you have to go to the gym, but you have to move your body in order to live a healthy life.
Yes,
for facts. That's it's just that simple.
It's science,
and it's not a matter of I got to, as opposed to I get to. I get to do this. If you really start looking at it that way and actually not even giving yourself the option, it becomes I need to put exercise on the same list as brushing my teeth, having a meal, drinking some water, and sleeping. It should be on that list for sure, because it can be so many things. Movement can be pole dancing. You can jump up and down in your living room with your kids, watch, turn on
ride your bike, skate.
Ride your bike. It can be anything. And I don't know how that happened, how that came about, where we were left off on the the information.
Black people was get somebody else to do it.
Yeah, but it's
a crunch.
It's so required. It's so required in order to just survive. Not even on aesthetic. We don't even have to talk. We don't even have to put aesthetics in the equation. And I think if we take aesthetics out, that would help us.
Come on,
a lot, like a lot.
Because why you gotta be cute to go to the gym?
Why?
Why your leggings and your shirt gotta match?
Why? And if you never got to the ideal body that you wanted, would you never work out? Like, does that? I've never worked out and felt like I just wasted an hour of my life because I worked out.
Wow.
Like, that was still good for me, right, no matter what. So, like, I've really changed my relationship with movement, and that is what makes me consistent. I don't be wanting to get up half the time. I had to switch to being a 6 a.m. girly too, because like I prefer to have more freedom in my evening. And because I get this big kick, like big rush of like dopamine and just like energy, why not start my day with that?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the first
way.
way.
The tone, doesn't it?
Does. And I'm very big on God. I feel like what better way to like say thank you than to really take care of your body.
Period.
So starting my day like, God, I just gave you my little hour.
Okay.
That's like such an ode to just saying like I'm grateful
for being here.
And
for you to bless me with this body.
And for being able-bodied.
Come on now.
For being able-bodied. Come on now. In my classes,
I think a lot of people take that for granted.
They do.
It's a lot of people that can't walk, can't speak, can't lift heavy things, are wheelchair bound, bed bound.
Yeah.
And they probably imagine themselves working out or being fit or taking a run or taking a stroll or riding a bike with their kids or anything like that.
Literally.
And I feel like that's such good advice to not try to motivate, but to change your perspective.
Because you're not going to always be motivated.
Period.
It's so many things that we're not motivated to do, like work. But somehow, some way, we make a way to get to work. And why do we do that? Because we have to. You
Why?
Gotta pay bills.
Okay.
You gotta eat.
Okay.
You gotta do all the things.
Period.
So you start putting it on the list of priorities. I mean, it's life changing.
And I feel like if people do that, like, okay, I have to implement some type of fitness into my life because I gotta breathe. I gotta live a long time.
I have to be well.
That's
my requirement. I want not to be well. When I'm not moving, I'm not well. If I'm not moving, no, I'm not well.
So I'm not okay.
I'm not okay.
I'm not okay.
That able-bodied statement, I tell my students that all the time, like, especially in flexology, because I'm typically putting them into poses and stuff that's challenging them. And I say, even your pain is a privilege. Like, the fact that you can, like, feel sensations and stuff, that's a privilege.
Girl,
you could be paralyzed.
The preacher, Chelsea.
You could be paralyzed and not feel anything.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's so true.
You literally could not have any sensations.
It's those things we take for granted because we feel like it's everyday life. We're supposed to feel. We're supposed to touch. We're supposed to see. It's a natural human
entitlement.
Entitlement
is what it is.
Yes.
Humans are very entitled, and we gotta really. That's the root of all the things. Like that's the simplest answer for all the things we're challenged with. Like, just rip away the entitlement and revert back to gratitude, and it'll be so simple.
Period.
It'll be so simple.
I enjoyed this conversation with you, really, and I really appreciate you. This is my first episode, first season, and so I've been kind of prepping my first couple of episodes, and I've been reaching out to people. So it's kind of hard for people to agree to something they don't understand or something that hasn't been a thing,
like out.
Yeah. So I just really need to extend my gratitude to you because you was like, absolutely yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely yes. I was like, okay, great. And I just really appreciate that. Honestly, I do.
I really love talking.
Me too,
anytime people give me a chance to talk outside of a studio, I'd be so excited. Like, yes
let's
do
it.
So much to talk about.
Yes, let's do it. So we're gonna play a little game.
Yes.
It's just a simple little this or that.
Oh, so Lord, I'm scared. Let me take a sip of your cup, actually.
I didn't pre-plan this because I really wanted to just come off my dome, girl.
Oh.
Okay.
Let me fix my lips.
We're gonna play a little this or that before we go. Okay. So, would you rather be trapped in a desert or trapped in a rainforest? Not a jungle. Not a jungle. And I know because I Googled it and they're two different places.
Okay. I'm going to have to say
trapped
rainforest.
On a desert. Right? Because it's hot. I need water.
I'm going to have to say
trapped in a rainforest. But they got critters and creatures. You said you're going to come out with the lion on you.
I'm going to still have to rock with the rainforest. I feel like I could just go tuck away somewhere.
Yeah.
Like if needed.
Yeah. That desert is
I need
crazy
will be
work.
there. Yeah.
Food,
I was just telling my friend earlier, we was at the gym and we went in a sauna. I was like, oh, it's giving flashbacks to Egypt. I went to Egypt. I've never experienced heat like that.
Oh
it
my
was
God.
crazy.
You
like,
went to
dry.
Egypt?
Yes. It was like so hot.
Was it hard for you
I
to
was
breathe?
grateful. I'm like, I'm in Africa. Yay. But it was so hot. It was like the dry heat where you just like,
am I breathing?
Yeah.
Am I alive?
Mm-hmm. And a lot of the places we went is like customary for you to be completely covered. So it's hot and I'm like completely covered, but really it's kind of like protecting your skin when you cover like that. But rainforest me.
Okay. I couldn't answer this one myself.
Okay.
Would you rather have a lifetime supply of free braids or a lifetime supply of free sew-ins? Braid hair included, bundle hair included.
Sheesh. Any kind of sewing?
Any kind of sewing, but also any kind of braid, lock, anything. Would you rather pay for the sew-ins and have a lifetime supply of free braids, or would you rather pay for the braids and have a lifetime supply of free sew-ins?
I'm going to say braids. That really was not that hard for me. Yeah, I'm going to say braids. I haven't had a sew-in in so long. And I only was getting like bundles and stuff when I just would be bored with the braids.
Yeah, there you go.
But braids are so convenient for my lifestyle.
They are, girl.
Like, for everything. I can dress them up if I want to dress them up. It's the best in the gym. You can curl them.
That's why I'm like, I feel like people really be sleeping on braids.
We've come a long way with braids.
We have.
A long way.
We have.
And we keep
braids was kind of frowned upon back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you got braids. You don't got no 3D twisties.
Yep.
Where your Yaki pony?
Yeah.
You don't got no braids. Like, come on.
So I feel like costing the same as the bundles these days.
Baby, them braids is expensive.
Yeah.
They expensive.
I'm going to have to say braids. Especially the hair included.
And I feel like they last longer. They look good longer. And I feel like the girlies is getting into a time where like we appreciate our braids aging. Our locks aging.
It looks so good.
It looks better when it's aged a little. Like, I don't want you to see my thoughts and then braids. Like, just give me a little fuzz up there or something. You know, that I think I'm a lock girl, so I definitely would choose braids.
Do we get the lifetime of takedowns too?
No.
Oh, Lord. Because that's really the most important part.
No, you can't eat your cake and
I
have
need the takedown included. Ooh.
Listen. Okay, so last one. Would you rather have open floor, one level farmhouse in the middle of nowhere? Or would you rather have a 3-story, 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom condo in the city? Really?
Isn't that shocking? I know.
You a city girl?
I am. I literally stay downtown. I love the urban life, and it's only
you did just move, and it's so cute.
But I stayed downtown before I moved there. I love like the urban hustle and bustle, but I think it's only because of this season that I'm in right now. When God sent me a man and some kids,
come on now,
give me the farmhouse.
You say, give me that farmhouse.
But for now, I'll take the urban.
Okay, because I got house fever. Yeah. I be looking at the farmhouses like I don't need stairs.
Yeah.
I'm getting old anyway.
My
knees.
Goodness.
You know?
Man.
So before we go, I want Chelsea to take this opportunity to plug the hell out of herself right now. Yes. Chelsea does so many things. She's a yoga instructor. She's a wellness coach. She's a lifestyle coach. She's a fitness instructor. She be at the gym. So if you need help, listen, baby, because she helps me a lot. So if you need help in the gym, you can catch Chelsea at 6 a.m. You got to get that ass up. And she's usually at LA, right? Or are you
I'm
Crunch?
an edge girl now.
Oh, you're an edge girl now.
Yeah.
Okay, so plug yourself. Let people know where they can find you for morning workouts if they want to come join you, or your next flexology class, which is coming up. All of your yoga classes you might be having coming up, couples and individual. So let the people know.
Yes. So again, I am Chelsea. I go by TheTeacherChelsea. All of my platforms are TheTeacherChelsea, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, my website, TheTeacherChelsea.com. My next flexology cohort starts November 19th. It is 6 weeks.
That's my birthday.
Oh, yay.
Let me take a shot.
It's 6 weeks of training. It is accessible to, that's specifically for women, but it's accessible to women of all ages, all skill levels. So if you've never done any type of physical movement, you're more than welcome to still join. What else? Couples
Yoga.
class.
Yep.
So my couples class is on November 18th. I host that monthly. It does typically fill up really quickly. So if you thinking about spending some time with your boo in a nice intimate space that's nonverbal, a little different, definitely check that out. And I am also available for corporate and group hostings as well. So if you have like an organization that you want to do like a private yoga class or wellness focused seminar of some sort, I'm open for that. And yeah, I'm open to all ideas too. So if you want to discuss, possibly bringing a vision to life, you can email me at chelseawalkerbusiness@gmail.com. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Collab, create,
all the things,
all of the things. And
podcast.
She's a content baddie. Yay. She comes with the content.
Oh, that's so nice.
You need help with your
in my influencer
you
bag.
in your bag,
Thank
sis.
you.
You in your bag. I said that Chelsea know how to make it real.
Thank you.
She be reeling the hell out of our asses. Okay, I'm like, damn.
And
it's really you feel like you at the event. Like you feel like you was at whatever you talking about.
Yeah.
Your sister night you had with your friends, the Bible study. Girl, I said, is the Lord is he in here? Because I watched it, and then I follow your other friends too, so I got to see it from different perspectives. So it was dope. So I was like, I really want to get in my content bag. So I might hit you up for a little content collab.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna try to catch you at Edge, maybe visit you one day for a 6 a.m. workout. I'm definitely super interested in your couples classes. I probably won't be there the day before my birthday. I'll probably be drunk. I'm gonna just live in my truth.
That's the best way to go into the birthday, though.
Yeah, I'm just living my truth, So, but December, I really want to join. So I'm gonna talk to my husband. We're gonna sign up. Okay. I appreciate you for coming.
I'm so happy.
I think the conversation was full of information.
Organic.
Yes, organic. We are let me tell y'all. I gotta tell y'all this before we leave. Me and Chelsea are matching today.
And it was not planned.
It was not planned, y'all. I know y'all not gonna believe us, but it was not planned. Like, I pulled up to the studio, and when I seen Chelsea in the car, I was like, I know you fucking lied. Like, I know she don't got an orange.
Is good.
And when I walked in, my producer was like, did y'all plan this? We was like, no.
We just on vibes.
We live in our vibes,
That's
babe.
it.
And you're tuned into Bar Talks.
Yes.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys stay up to date. My name is Kyra O. You can follow me on Instagram at Kyra O ____. And yeah, that's that. Yeah. So check me out. Please watch my episode and stay tuned for more to come.
That's so good.